this past weekend.
Did they really?
They won first place.
Did they really?
Yes, they did.
We need,
I'm going to, and I meant to write that on there, but yeah, they sure did. And then,
they're impressive. Both
and
of
the
them.
other team, Coach Tillman,
Right.
his son was in the other team that, depending on how they placed, they would go to the national
Right.
championship. They placed fourth, they're going.
So wow. So that's about.
They're going.
So they're going to win the points.
Yeah, they won the points.
points.
Yeah, Jason and what was it?
Jackson.
Jason and Jackson. Yep.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I was highly impressed by that.
You should have been here in
Should have
person
been
with them.
seen them in person.
That's
they
right.
Were even,
Look,
Yeah.
I was sick.
they were even more impressive.
They sure were.
But just to listen to them and
They were just impressive as young men, and
they
not
were.
just
I mean,
Christian.
they
in today's
their
world.
mannerisms, the way they spoke, they were just unbelievable.
And what got me was how much they knew about fishing.
I paid attention to that.
I'm telling
Well,
you.
you know what got me was their mental,
Yeah, they were like they were
very advanced
mature.
mentally.
As Bubba's favorite
fishing.
word, they are at the next level.
Yes.
yeah.
He says it all the time.
Well, I was
and they
very
were.
impressed, and I know their parents are
Oh,
have to be.
yeah.
Have to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Jackson's parents was here, Jason and Carrie, and they had a good time. But still, one of the ones that tickled me when he said they'd been friends since kindergarten.
Yeah.
And I said, y'all ever slip to a bunch of ponds? And Jackson turned around to me and he said, yes, sir, we've slipped to a bunch of them. Boy, and I can relate to that because I know I used to. What's weird, I used to sneak to the one where I live now. Hey, it's time to go. Hello, everybody. I'm Anthony Landreth.
I'm Bubba Spencer.
And I'm Keith Haywood.
Hey, we want to welcome y'all to another Tennessee Outside Show coming to you live from the Dr. R.E. Wilhite Building here at the Hardeman County Agribusiness Center. And as we always say, if you hunt and fish in Tennessee, this is a show you need to watch because hunting season's kind of winding down, but fishing season's fixing to get started right here. Hey, and we will be taking questions. Don't know what we're giving away yet, but as long as it's going to be, we're going to try to come up with a good one this time. I mean, they're all good, but hopefully this will be a good one. But yeah, we will be taking questions on that. Janet will be passing them off to us, and it's a lot of stuff going on. Everything okay, Janet? Okay, we're cool. All right, Keith, you want to give a shout out to our sponsors, bro?
Yes, sir. We have Apex Outdoor Rewards. That's our premier sponsor. Deception Sense, Baker Glass Shop, Second Amendment Outdoors, Big Hill Pond Boat Sales and Repair, Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. We have Lynnhurst Family Resort, Prym1 Camo, Threeway Processing, Wildlife Addiction Food Plot Services, and as always, a shout out to Brian Harford and the Crappie Addicts Facebook page.
Yeah, I noticed he posted a bunch of new hats on Facebook today, did you?
I did see that.
Yep, sure did. Hey, also, too, want to give a shout out to the Facebook groups that allow us to share our show to their page. But just so thankful that Tennessee Deer Hunters is back up and running on Facebook. And Wes is, he wants me to, and I'm going to keep saying it. If you want to join that page, you have to answer the 2 questions that is required. If you don't answer them, answer both of them, you will not be allowed to join because we kick out 40, 50 a day right now. I've never seen so many people trying to get on that page right now. Most time they jump on in August, but they're really getting on now. But Tennessee Deer Hunter, West T and Deer Hunters, Tennessee Woods and Waters, Tennessee Turkey Hunters, Tennessee Bow Hunters, Tennessee Valley Sportsman, Real West Tennessee Sportsman, East Tennessee Deer Hunters, Tennessee Rivers and Lakes, Bow Hunters of America, our biggest group, about 240,000. True Hunters and Anglers down in Mississippi, Southern Boys 870 over in Arkansas, and Hunting for Connections up in Wisconsin, Tennessee Outdoor Information, Tennessee Hunting and Fishing Report, Hunt Swaps of America, Tennessee Outdoor Hunting and Fishing, Tennessee Small Game Hunting and Fishing, and Middle Tennessee Coyote Hunters.
All right, we have Kentucky Whitetail Hunters. That was established in August of 2015. West Kentucky Deer Hunters, Do a Country Jig, Pickwick Lake Anglers, Crappie Cats, Bass and More, Gamekeepers and Food Plots, Pickwick Lake Fishing Reports, Turkey South, Backwood Hunting and Fishing, Wildlife Hunter Association, Whitetail Snipers, Feathers and Fur, Camo Thugs Outdoors, Blunteville Tennessee Deer Hunters, Back to the Roots Outdoors, Down to Earth Hunting, Tennessee Turkey Hunters, and the Hatchie River Fishing Bank Post.
That's a lot of folks, a lot of groups. Hey, we want to give a shout out because we had so many responses and views last week, Bubba and Keith, Well, Keith, I hate you missed it because
I
the
know.
guest we had on our show last week was Jack Houston and Jackson Jackson Sheffield. My bad. Sherfield. And but everybody knew that they're already going to the national championships up in Wisconsin, and they won their tournament this past weekend, which made them number 1 in the points. And they was going anyway. But Coach Tillman, his son's on another team, and depending on how they finish, whether they would be going to the national championships too. Well, they finished 4th, and they are going. So 2 teams from Brighton going to the national championships. That's pretty cool.
Congratulations to both teams.
Oh, yeah.
The whole job, the job of the coach, the drivers. I mean, the whole thing's just first class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also too, they are taking donations. I saw where Coach Tillman posted a video, because they're pulling 2 boats up there, the fishing every day, the food and the lodging. And they do have a lot of good people that's donated stuff. But I think he said they needed between $5,000 and $6,000 is what they need for that week for that. So anybody that wants to make a donation, just contact Coach Tillman. You can go to the Brighton High School Fishing Team Facebook page or look up Brantley Tillman. He's their coach, and I know they would greatly appreciate it because we really enjoyed them being on our show.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. I wasn't here, but I was able to watch from where I was, and I hope those for all the viewers that watched. To me, those 2 young men were a testimony of raised right, raised in the outdoors. What being involved with your kids in the outdoors, what it turns you into.
Especially in today's world.
Yes.
It's refreshing when you come across young men like that.
Absolutely.
Because I know Jackson's dad, he's the coach of them, and then Coach Tillman, he's the coach of his son's team.
Right.
And it takes all of that.
Yeah, and for those of us that have kids, it takes an army to raise them. But these young men, just like I said, let it be a testimony as to their personalities, and I was very impressed by these.
Oh, we were too.
Very much so.
Bubba and I talked not long after the show, and he said, "Man, those 2 young guys got it going on, and proud to have them, and congratulations on a job well done. That's for sure."
Maybe when they go win the big one, they can come back.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yes, it would. It sure will. Because, I'm telling you, Middle Tennessee, they got some sticks in the high school teams. But, and they have all the lakes. And it's like Coach Tillman said, they got to drive a long ways every time they go fishing. We don't have the big reservoirs in West Tennessee like they do in Middle Tennessee.
Right.
I mean, we got Tennessee River, but that's where they have to go. That's the shortest distance they got to go.
Yeah.
So.
Randy Wallace is off his, he's going to send in $100, and he's asking everybody to jump in to help the fishing team and see how much we can raise during this show.
Well, thank you, Randy.
Yeah.
I'll
And
match
I
that.
want to ask him, you might want to ask him, is he going to match those donations?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
$100 is
Yeah.
good.
I don't know if anybody could hear what Janet was saying because our microphones are up here, but our buddy Randy Walls, he's going to donate $100, and he's challenging anybody else that's watching this show to donate what they can too. Of course, and Janet said he was going to match it, but that's
Or to see how much we can
yeah,
raise.
we're going to try to
that's
see
right.
how
That's
much that we can raise during
Yeah.
the show. For
And then Randy can match it.
I'll match $100 to that also.
There you go. Right there's Keith.
There's
Right
another
off the
100
get-go.
right there. We need to try to keep up with it, see what kind of money
Yeah.
we're coming
Yeah.
with during
yeah,
the show.
well, maybe if anybody is going to donate, put it in the comments.
Yeah.
I know the coach and them would love to see, and we'd like to see who all it is too.
And surely they have an account or maybe a Venmo.
Yeah,
a way
I
for
know
us to
that. I
get
know
it
they have
to
a
them.
Venmo.
Okay.
I do know that because when
Well-
Coach Tillman made the video, he put all that information on there.
Well, if the coach or anybody's watching, maybe give us, make a comment on here about how we can donate, where we can send it to, things like that. That'd be great.
Yeah,
just
it
to
would.
know, or we can set up something. But anyway,
Because I know it was a
I'm
lot of
in to
people
match
watch
that
the
myself.
show, and I got calls about them, messages about them. It was very impressed
Yeah,
with those
yeah.
2 guys.
I was most definitely.
Yeah, sure was. Hey, folks, our guest tonight, I know y'all recognize Hooch sitting up here, and some of y'all know we have Penny Pulse with us right here. And they're on the show tonight. Hooch's going to talk about the catfish tournament coming up. Is it still called the Southern Holler Catfish Tournament? I'm not sure.
It's the Hatchie River Big Catfish tournament sponsored by Southern Holler.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. And Matt German's putting it on.
Correct.
And well, tell us some of the specifics about it. When's it going to go down?
2nd of June is a Friday. It starts at 12 noon. Weigh-in time is 3 June at 7:30 a.m.
So it's going to start noon on Friday.
Correct.
And then weigh-in is at 7:30 the Saturday morning.
Right. And for people that don't know where it's at, it's on Highway 18 North, and we call it the Old Boat Dock.
Call it the Old Boat Dock.
And that's where the weigh-in will take place. I don't know, everybody, it's on Facebook. So other than what I know that I was told is that Matt wants all the anglers at the weigh-in at 7:30 that morning. And you have to follow TWRA regulations. It's a let's say two per, I was going to say 2 million per boat, but I kind of kicked myself in the foot.
Well, I probably know one other woman that's going to be in it too.
Okay, but anyway, Tennessee regulations is, well, the way Matt's doing it, if you got 2 per boat, you can have 2 34 inches.
Yep.
No more than that. It's 1 per person.
That's right. That's the Tennessee state regulation, yeah.
And I absolutely understand that it is no grappling or noodling, whatever the word called, whatever it's named nowadays, and no nets. It's limb lines, trot lines, rod and reels.
No wire baskets.
No, and no wire.
My daddy's not entering, he's gone, but he'd probably be the only one to use a wire basket.
But one thing I need to mention, Penny and I have been on the river twice now since the water, let's say, it's been up in our area.
Yeah.
And we already know for a fact there's 3 trees that are something's got to be done to them, which I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And overall, safety is the #1 thing on that hatchie when it gets dark. So
I mean, it's #1 when it's daylight, but it intensifies when that sun goes down.
But hopefully we're going to have a good turnout, and each year, you know, it just seems like it's getting bigger and bigger.
Yep.
But if you look on Matt German's Facebook, or I'm sorry, Hatchie River Big Catfish Tournament, all the information you need is right there, and it's your 3 biggest fish are going to be weighed in. So, and there's a 5-pound deduction if it's not alive per fish.
Yeah.
So we're getting revved up about it. I got a new boatsman mate, I guess is what term for the Navy.
Has he put you through the hoot training yet?
A little bit.
I'm sure.
No hoot cussing yet though.
Oh no hoot. I was fixing to say, has there been any foul language yet?
Well,
He got a marine on you.
Well, that can happen.
Soften your older age.
No.
You're not.
No, because to you it's kind of like, and I know it's a few people out there that can relate, and of course Janet's one of them because she used to hunt with me. But when you're in that zone of when you're doing what you're doing, it's kind of like you want it done right.
Right.
I mean, that's just the way it is. You know, and from what I've seen, the key to a lot of these catfish tournaments, it's the over 34s. But it's the one, it's your heaviest under 34 sometimes is what wins the tournament for you. A lot of people don't realize that. What do you think, your estimation, what you think it's going to take to win it this year, Hoot?
75 pounds.
Think it will?
Yep.
What was last year, about 80 or 90?
We got beat by 3 pounds. I think we had.
You remember what it was last year, Bubba?
I don't think it
I
was
think
that
we
much.
had
I was thinking.
77 pounds.
I was thinking it was close to
something.
80.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I thought it was at least 80. Yeah, and that's good for the Hatchie River, I'm going to tell you.
But I had to tell you, if you catch a 10 or 15 pound, let's say flathead,
Yeah.
and you say, oh, this ain't even gonna, don't do that.
Yeah. You better keep it. Hey, just want to interrupt right here, but Coach Tillman or somebody sent us something.
Jason Sherfield.
Yeah.
Okay, Jason Sherfield sent it. You can do the Venmo account with Coach Brantley at Brantley
Dash
Tillman.
BRANT.
There
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, on my screen.
BRANTLEY
I'm gonna send him some money right now.
dash Tillman.
TILL.
Yeah.
I know my wife's watching, so make sure I'm gonna get her. I'll get her to match it. Also, we'll get.
All right, I'm gonna send him some money. Give me that. I'll send him
Right.
some right now.
Hey, I tell you what, we'll make an executive decision. If y'all 3 want to, Tennessee Outside will send them $100.
That sounds good.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Keith, if you're gonna send it, send them 2, and I'll give you the
No
100.
problem. No problem. I'll
Okay.
take care
I'm,
of it.
I'm gonna send them some right now just to get it started.
Okay, good deal. All right. So Penny, how'd you get hooked up with this crook right here?
I sold him a side-by-side at Motor Nation of Bolivar.
Okay, what do you do out there?
A finance manager.
Oh, you're finance manager out there. So Hooter, when you come back, or when did you get that?
January,
January.
don't remember the day, but
Yeah.
my four-wheeler had to be pulled out by my buddy from duck hunting all the way up to the house.
That sucks,
And
don't it?
one of the Hoots honeys kind of snickered and laughed and stuff. I said, okay.
Which one of the honeys did that?
Sarah Grantham.
Oh, Sarah. Okay.
I don't want to mention any names,
Okay.
but Sarah Grantham.
Did she receive any choice words? Is that no comment?
All I can say is that the day I went there,
That was.
I picked it out, and they put it together Saturday. They were closed on Monday. And Hoots Honey Sarah Grantham just happened to be near there on a Tuesday when I went to pick it up because they were taking pictures.
Yeah.
And I rubbed it just a little bit. She thought I was kidding her. I said, well, come on out here. They're taking pictures of me right now. And she pulled up. That was Sarah Grantham that pulled up. And, but no, we all kid and bump, and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know if it was when I took it in for its first checkup or whatever, but I got to talking to Penny, and I just threw it out there. I said, hey, there's going to be a fishing tournament, catfish on the Hatchie coming up. And I said, you want to fish with me? Uh-huh. Or how, but no, I mean, that's the way it formed.
It's like,
Just
on the
that.
Hatchie?
Have you fished on the Hatchie much? Have you even been on the Hatchie?
Twice now. Testing the boat.
So until you
Breaking the boat motor
until
in.
you was with Hooter, you'd never been on the Hatchie River, and you grew up right here in Hardeman County.
You're gonna be ruined.
So have you ever driven a
Mama.
boat on the Hatchie?
Oh, no. Well, now twice.
Okay.
Now twice.
But folks, I'm telling you, if you can see, she got so pumped up, and I get excited. All right, I'm not
No, not you.
kid about it. Yeah, just watch me on a turkey hunt.
I know, and I have. That's why I say
But
that.
just to see her getting pumped up about it, this is allowing me once again to start passing something on.
And
So
no snakes have fallen out of the trees yet.
That'll happen,
It's definitely gonna happen.
especially at night.
Yet.
But me and my buddy did see a squirrel jump out of a tree. We were putting stuff up in my slough, and we got back out on the main river, and all of a sudden, I mean, if it was one of those carp things or Asian,
Yeah,
whatever it
Asian
is,
carp, yeah.
you'll probably see the fish. It was just a humongous straight up and down splash. It was a squirrel. And he's swimming across the river. Of course, you ain't got time to get your phone because people. Then what did we see the other
Yeah,
day?
yesterday. The little guy, a little squirrel, he was getting it.
Just coming across the river.
Squirrel season's still open, Bubba.
That's a good question.
I'm not sure because I mean it is a spring squirrel season.
I don't know.
Yeah, I
I
think it,
think it is. I looked it up.
yeah, it's pretty close.
I don't know if everybody heard it or not, but who didn't say
June
four-wheeler?
11th.
He said four-wheeler. Your four-wheeler.
Till June the 11th.
To June 11th.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was.
So what kind of side by side you get, Hoot?
Tell her. Not
It's
ask
a
her.
Can-Am Defender.
Oh, you
Good
Yep.
one.
all right, man, you went all out.
He's ready.
But
Those Can-Ams are so nice.
well, see,
Don't take
yeah.
Sarah
Really
Grantham
are.
had her side by side down in the river bottom.
So
That
you know,
and
she hears you.
oh, that's good, Sarah Grantham. But no, I've always wanted one, and I figured this was the right time. And I'm telling you, man, it's like night and day. It is like night and day, and you can carry all your stuff, all that kind of stuff. But that's kind of how I guess you say we got together, and I say I'm in it to win it. She says we're going to win it, so I tried to tone her down a little bit on that part.
Yeah, because I mean you come close 2 years in a row.
Right. But
That's a
it's
tough one to win.
It's just
It really is.
the excitement of it, just where my granddaddy and daddy, and they taught me. Like I said, now maybe I can pass it on a little
And
bit.
fishing right there in the same waters.
Exact same spot.
Yep. So what's your game plan, Hoot? Tell us what's your
I'm gonna put my
tools you're going to use that week.
well. I'm putting my line now, and don't anybody misunderstand what I'm fixing to say. I'm putting my lines out Thursday.
And that's perfectly legal.
Did anybody hear me say anything about baiting them?
Nope.
I'm not baiting them.
You're
I'm
not
putting them
fishing
out.
until the bait goes on.
they're going to be marked. And especially the TWRA number is going to be able to be seen very easily. Anyway, I'm going to do all
And that is required by law.
And that probably starting at Wednesday, I'm going to be in dire search of bait. You know, and I've got a monster live well on my deck. Bait to me is going to be key.
Yeah.
But at noon, and I know when the predators come out when the light goes up. But to me, I get hungry sometimes when the sun's out, so I'm going to bait them at probably about 1:45 or whatever, however long it takes me to get to my lines. Whatever time my teammate, which is not Sarah Grantham, but Penny, pick her up and get situated, we'll probably run them and need to rebait. But I've got, what do you call them? You give them to me.
Yeah, my bank poles.
Bank poles.
It's those fiberglass bank poles.
And limb lines. And depending on the depth of the river, where we just set up to rod and reel fish. And we can do that because that's the tournament. You
Right.
know? And about every 2 hours, run them. Check the lines, run them.
Yep. And that is a good method to do, especially once sun goes down. You know, you make sure it's got good bait on it then, and about every 2 hours. Basically, what, you know, depending on how you stretch them out, time you get to the end of one, you run back to the first one, it's ready to check again.
But I just know, from experience, my thing is we'd always get down on the river 2 or 3 hours before sunset and catch our bait.
Yep.
Well, I like using live bait. And then bait the lines, but like you were just saying, by the time you got done with the last one, and you came back, you know,
It's time to check them.
Check them. But it's just time goes by so quick when you're actually doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, next thing you know, it's hey, we need to go ahead and get what we got if we're lucky enough to have 3 fish or whatever
Yeah.
fish we got. And
You know, I know you've been on the river a long time like I have. I can remember used to this time of year and even for the next 2 or 3 months, you could take crickets and anywhere on the Hatchie River you throw up against the bank, you're going to catch a brim. You're going to catch one or lose one within 15 seconds about every cast. It's not like that no more.
No, what I figured, mouth of my slough, I'd pull up, put the front of the boat on the bank, throw out the anchor, and all I do is wait till the wake from the boat, calm down, and it didn't take 15 minutes. When you caught that first brim, 45 minutes later, you had enough to bait whatever you had.
But I wonder what happened to the river that you can't do that anymore like that.
You
You got any idea, Bubba?
Man, I think it's like a lot of things. There's a combination of so many factors that we just don't know.
Because I'm serious,
I know.
used to for 20 years when I was a kid. It didn't matter. I remember me and Sammy Purtle went down there one day in about 4 hours. I bet you we had 500 of them.
Well, the thing I see quite a bit that I didn't used to see as a kid is gar.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, they'll get on your line, whatever, and that's
I know,
fine.
but I don't know if it's I know the alligator gars has increased. You know, because they are down there now. They didn't used to be. They are now. But of course, used to it wasn't otters down there too. And then they restocked the otters, but I don't think that.
Well, there were otters there, then the otters got extirpated, then they got problems.
You're right. That's
So,
they were native to here, but then they were all gone, and then they was put back.
I mean, I don't have any.
But most otters get big fish
I
too.
don't have any secret bait or anything. I just know
It's cheese balls.
it's almost for a fact if you catch let's say pond perch, that's the way we say it, and you get them in the live well in your vehicle or your boat if you're going straight to the river, they're not as stout or strong as those Hatchie River.
That's
brim.
right. I agree with you.
And-
But that's any fish. Any river fish is going to be stouter and healthier just about than any pond fish or lake fish.
But I seen one of my friends, and he's a commercial fisherman. He sent me 2 pictures almost 2 mornings in a row where he caught like a 3-pound, let's say, channel cat, and it was. We knew what it was.
Yeah, it done been gnawed on something big.
And
Done
then
got hooked
the
up.
very next morning, same exact spot. Well, guess what? It wasn't a alligator gar, and it wasn't a turtle.
That's right.
To me, a flathead it's the big buck of the river.
That's right. I agree
That's
with
the
that.
way I look at it. And I had lost Slick. This says Hoots Pursuit for Slick.
Yep.
I've nicknamed her Slick, and I can tell you, it's exciting for me to see the excitement in her eyes and I know she's questioning me, how in the world do I know I'm gonna put a line there when the river's down and the river's out in the bottom? Because I'll be 68 next month, and I've done it with my parents and grandparents. Since
No
I was
different
5
than
years
picking
old.
out a tree for a deer stand when you know what you're doing.
And that's a biggie. Y'all got to really be careful about the trees in the river. I mean, even with the water falling, while I was turkey guiding, y'all must have had some really, really winds from
Oh, we did. We had two different rounds with a lot of winds. Yeah.
And safety, you're not going to have any fun if you're not safe. You might think you are, but my thing is, it's just like the side-by-side episode. Get me down there, but the biggie, get me back.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, what was it, 2 years ago go on that tournament? It was y'all made it. It was tough getting out because of a tree that fell.
We had to go up and get my go deal.
Yeah.
When we jumped a tree.
Yeah, I knew that y'all had trouble getting back.
It was more or less not shoot up Elizabeth. Is hang on. Here we go. We'll go peel it back.
Hey, was she introduced to a hatchy bottom mosquito yet?
No.
Oh, Lord. That's coming.
And that, especially when the light goes.
Yeah, when the light goes out.
Those first 2 hours are the worst. You ever notice when you're on the river all night like that, it's those first 2 hours when the bugs are worst. After that,
Yeah,
I don't
good.
know.
It's
You can
like
go up
you
through there at
can
midnight,
take 'em out.
you won't hardly see a bug.
But she's got some of that essence of Paris stuff. I don't know. You know, it's kind of like.
You don't have that?
What is this stuff? You know.
That's not in your bag.
But she
Had it
is
in
doing
my mouth
real
and
good,
heard.
and I try to overemphasize, you know, especially if we see the limb shaking, you know, and that's a biggie. That's the pump right there. Is that whenever I commit, I'm not paying attention to her running the motor or anything. My mission is get the fish in the boat.
Well, she's gonna have a blast. She's gonna have a good time, and those skeeters are gonna.
I know.
They're gonna liven her up a little bit. She'll get a little jumpy off of them. Probably.
And I got to say this also, ticks are out big time now.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
just big time.
Yeah.
I had one I pulled off right on the back of my thigh 2 months ago. It's still a knot.
Still not
And
ready.
every time I
Itches.
take a shower and that hot water hits it, it goes to itching.
Itching. Yeah.
Bad.
I had 3 nights in a row last week, and the knots are terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Hey.
I don't remember them whelping up like that when I was growing
No,
up.
No, we
I
bring
don't
that up
even-
before.
I don't
They
even
used
ever
not bother
remember
like that.
No.
getting a tick
yeah.
on me when
You're
I was a
right.
kid. The only ticks I ever saw when I was a kid was the big ones that was on a
You know,
dog. That was it.
the other day I was coming up the Bolivar and I saw a kid out in some grass. And I'm like, man, there's going to get ticks and chiggers. And then I thought, you know, when we were kids, we did a whole lot
And
more
we
of that.
lived- and-
And it never.
Yes.
More kids
Never
need
had
to do
that.
They need to go out and get ticks and
Well,
chiggers on.
That's like right over there in my neighborhood where I grew up at is right down a couple of blocks down from McDonald's. And, you know, we stayed out all night long.
I
You
know,
we
but-
wouldn't even go home and hiding in the bushes
But
and,
we used to
and all
not
that.
get that.
I know, but what I'm saying is then several years ago, you know, where Alan Baker lived over there right across from Bodine, he killed a cottonmouth right there.
Yeah.
And it was fields there from we were
Yep.
kids.
Yep.
Just
Of course, you had
imagine-
Stallings Pond right behind the elementary school because if we'd skip, we'd go back there fishing, you know, all the time.
Just imagine the close calls we never knew about.
I know.
You know, I was
I
trying to
just I don't know if there's that many critters back then.
I really don't hardly ever remember seeing a venomous snake other than if we went down to the bottom of
That-
the cottonmouth.
that's
It was
right.
about the only thing I can remember seeing when I
That's
was a
right.
kid.
That's
and
right.
it's almost like you had to go searching for them.
But the ticks and chiggers as a kid, I just don't.
I don't remember.
I never pulled a tick off me when I was a
Yeah.
kid.
Well, I can't say that, but
I don't ever
I had
remember.
some, but I don't remember the whelps.
Oh no, them I don't care if he once he attaches. I don't care if he hadn't been there 10 seconds.
Yeah.
You pull him off,
He's gonna-
it's going to be a knot there,
Oh, yeah.
and it's a hard knot
And it
too.
takes a month or two.
That's
Seems
exactly
like
right.
to get up,
well,
get
I'm
it going.
glad y'all are witnessing the same thing. I thought it was just something.
Oh, no,
me,
no.
You know, I'm thinking,
Nope.
I had my wife looking at it. She's like, look, there's nothing there. You know.
Hey, Bubba just handed me this note, and I got to announce it. 'Cause-
Yeah, this is major.
So, Jenny, you may have. So, Randy Walls is matching up to $500. Okay, so Randy Walls is matching up to $500. You know, if we can get $500 worth of donations for the Brighton High School fishing team, because those young guys that was on here, Coach
Yeah.
Tillman last week.
Go over the Venmo one more time because
I
I
think
just
we've already
I
met
just sent
that.
him money.
Oh, have we done that
Look,
kid?
I've been watching, and that's
Yeah.
why I keep looking
Okay.
down because I'm watching this thing.
I've
And
got 400 so far.
you've gotten 400.
You got 400. So we need another 100, and then Randy's going to match that with another 500. So that is Waldo, that's awesome, brother. He's always been good. He helps us with the bicycle fund.
Give him the Venmo if anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, because it works. I just sent money myself.
It's at Brantley, BRANTLEY-Tillman.
T-I-L-L.
Yeah, TILLMAN.
And when you put forward, just put donation for the Nationals. What I did.
Okay, donation for the Nationals.
And look, businesses, if you're watching, it's supporting them, but it's a write-off. Come on,
Yeah.
donate.
And I tell you what, when they went over their sponsors last week,
Impressive.
They had a bunch of good sponsors, and it was commercial sponsors.
Well, I don't know, what all they need, but hey, let's send them enough to go have a good time.
Well, that's what
too.
because Coach Tillman in his video yesterday, he went over kind of how much gas it was going to take every day because it's 2 boats,
And that's we've all been on the river running. You can burn some gas on the river when you're out there chasing.
Yeah,
a lot of distance.
And I mean, and then plus the drive up there, drive back. I think it was like 5 or 6 nights stay,
lodging,
and 5 or 6 nights food. I mean, days long food.
These kids have earned this. Let's give them enough for the coaches and the kids to go out somewhere nice to eat one night and really enjoy the whole experience of being there.
So, but like I say, Venmo at Brantley-Tillman. So if anybody you can't get that, just write it in the comments. Janet will help you out. Keith's looking at them. He's following it.
Yeah,
but we got 400 so far, and so then we can get another $100.
Or if we even get 20 and 20 and 20.
He's not matching. He's matching not the first 300. He's matching the donations after that first 300 that's given.
Okay. Well, this just says 500, so that's why.
They're asking now, how do I donate? Tell me again.
Okay. It's at the symbol at Brantley-Tillman on Venmo.
Janet's going to have it in one of the comments there.
It's already in the
It's
comments.
in the comments.
Okay.
Yep.
Because I'm serious. Anybody that watched our show and all the people that reached out to us after it, I mean, I can't tell you how many people said, that was an awesome show. And it's so good to see the young people that's that involved.
Yep.
And I mean, and I was impressed. The whole time I was kind of envious because I wish I'd had that when I was in school.
Oh, man.
And I know you do, Keith. That's right up your alley, too.
Goodness, yes.
Of course, Hoot skipped school all the time. It wouldn't have helped him.
I graduated high school.
Yeah, I hear you.
See how they treat you, who?
Yeah.
God almighty.
Hey,
Hey, why did you come on here to get abused like this?
Hey, I just have that look.
Hey, it's time for a break right here. Hey, our premier sponsor is Apex Outdoor Rewards, and I noticed some of the states are, they're ending up right now. But it was live in 12, no more than that. It's Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Virginia, West Virginia, and Wisconsin. But if you sign up, of course, they cut the price from $125 to $75. You get the turkey tool, which has got a scale on it, kind of like a yarn ruler. Measure your beard, your spurs, and it doubles as a turkey tote too. So you can tote it out of woods, put it over your shoulder, tote it out. It's pretty cool right here. But you can go to apexoutdoorrewards.com, and as long as your season is still open and you kill a turkey after you enter, it's still legal right now. So you can go do that. apexoutdoorrewards.com. Hey, Deception Scents, you can see the Deception Scent in the Pure Marine. They have a complete line of scent eliminating products. They also have a complete line of turkey calls, duck calls, working on some deer calls. And of course, I have just about all of them. Keith, I know you do too. Every time they get a new one, they send it to us to test out. And I know their new call this year that they introduced was the MK. We called it the Monster Killer. Of course, I know you killed yours with one of their box calls.
I did.
And but the rest of us killed them with the MK calls, and Chris Dimon, he nicknamed them the Monster Killers.
I'm still learning. I'm getting there.
I know.
I'm getting there.
I know. But Bill Dance, he's on board. If you watch any of the Bill Dance outdoor shows now, the new ones, you'll see the Pure Marine on there because once Bill started using it, he's talked about it several times on commercials. It is some good stuff. I know it's at least one bottle in my boat, usually 2, because CJ's got one in the back or something.
Yeah.
I got one up front.
One in my pontoon for
Yep.
the weekend.
But you can get it at Amazon. You can get the Pure Marine. It's in close to 2,100 Walmarts, and we'll probably be coming to some more. And hopefully by fall, I think you can pretty much find all the Deception products, hopefully in Walmart. I know you can on Amazon now, and also at Shields, the Shields stores. Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, go to www.tnwildlife.org for information, and be sure to follow TWRA on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Because Bubba, they've been putting out posts almost every day about everything: snakes, turtles, fawns.
Yeah,
Are you getting many phone calls about fawns?
Not yet. No.
I'm surprised.
No.
I figured it would be more. And
It usually seems like the phone calls are around.
Coming June?
June 1.
Yeah.
June 1 just seems to be.
I've seen.
I get it.
The only
Yeah.
reason I'm saying, I've seen several already people posting them.
Yeah.
And somebody posted one the other day. It was a woman. She was sitting beside one, and I swear that thing didn't look no bigger
small.
than a soccer ball.
Yeah.
It was tiny.
Yeah.
It really was. I know Duck was hunting the other day. Our buddy Duck Madeir over in Haywood County, and he's just 100 yards from him. He couldn't do nothing about it. He couldn't see it, but something got a fawn. Yeah, he said it made him sick. About 15 seconds of the hollering, and then that was it.
Oh, yeah.
So, and this is, that's just
That's
nature.
the beast of nature, yeah.
That's exactly
part
right.
of it.
It sure is. Hey, Threeway Processing. David, if you listen, brother, I hope you can find something, because, you think about it, August velvet hunt's not going to be long.
No, it's not.
It's
right around the corner.
It's coming quick. A lot of people are posting pictures. The bucks are growing their racks right now. And I have seen a couple that I was actually shocked.
I already got
I
a
have
pretty
two.
good.
Yes.
I have two that boy, it's got me.
I know.
Excited.
And I was hoping we'd see some the other day when we was hunting at your place, but
Right.
all we saw were does. But
Right.
the time before, we would see two different groups of 4 to 6 bucks running around together. So
And right now they're in the got those bachelor groups
yeah.
going.
that's
so,
right. And you can just about tell the bucks right now, because most of your does, they've already got the red summer coat.
Yeah.
A lot of them. But when you still see those dark gray ones, it's a pretty good chance that that's a buck. And I've seen bucks go all year long and never get that red on them.
Yeah.
It seems to me like the older they get, they don't really get that red coat on, that summer coat. But David is looking for a 5,000 to 6,000 square foot building, or 5 to 15 acres to purchase. Land must be located in Gibson, Madison, Haywood, or Crockett counties. But if you can help David out, because
Not only help David out, we're going to help out.
Yeah, it's
West
gonna help
Tennessee
out.
deer
Yeah,
hunt. We're
because-
going to help out the deer management, because without
Because
that,
if
that's-
David Tyndall does not open, and I'm not knocking any processor, because they're all needed and they all do a great job. But if David is knocked out of the equation, I don't know that.
His volume.
I don't think the others can take the slack up,
That's
because
right.
they already
Yeah.
is
And
periods
plus-
every year that they shut down.
Plus, that's just going to require some people to drive farther that might not even pull the trigger,
Yeah.
just because of the extra drive to get to
Yeah,
it.
because
Processor.
and you saying that, Bubba, I got to mention it, but 30 years ago, they didn't think about that. Man, if they saw a buck,
Yeah.
they was going to pull the trigger.
But
But
today-
now,
now-
the way it is, you take in a lot of consideration. Man, do I have to drag that thing out by myself?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm supposed to go.
I'm
eat,
older now.
I'm supposed to go eat supper.
Yeah,
man, I
man.
ain't got time to shoot this thing.
I
Get it
used
out.
to shoot a spike that'd take hours to get out. Now, man, I wouldn't shoot a spike if it was attacking
I
me.
know. Well, most of us wouldn't shoot a good deer, if we're not going to mount it or anything. But if you can help David out, give him a call at 731-432-9076. Not only would he appreciate it, we would appreciate it, and a lot of folks in West Tennessee would too.
He's needed.
Yeah.
Definitely needed.
Hey, before we get started, I got a couple of questions.
Okay.
Let's get over. One from Gary Lane. It said, do you have to have a paddle in your boat, or does a trolling motor provide alternative navigation? Gary Lane. Gary, you don't have to have either one.
That's right.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, and the way it says that in the books,
Yeah.
it's got like, you have a list of requirements, and you have a list that's recommended.
Yeah.
The recommendeds are not required,
Yeah.
but a paddle it's highly recommended.
Yeah,
that's for
a
sure.
paddle's nice to have just to
Yeah,
push
I
off.
recommend the paddle.
Or,
Yeah. Or worst case scenario, your motor goes dead, and that's all you got.
That's right. Keep a paddle for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got one more here.
Okay.
Rodney
Biddle.
Biddle. Will turkey season be the same next year as it was this year? Rumors are that it's going back like it was. Rodney, next year it's going to be exactly like it was this
Yeah.
year. I don't know the exact
Yeah.
dates on it.
The,
but
the only thing that'll change would just be because the incidental calendar date
Dates,
changes.
yeah, but it's gonna be-
as far as the time frame, it's going to be just like it
Just
was
the
this
same
year. Yeah.
this year.
Because when TWRA set seasons now, they set them for 2 years at a time. And, I think there was some internal talk about maybe doing something, but, a lot of people were going to look at it and say it's a knee-jerk reaction. It was set for 2 years. Let's let it run its course and see how it is. So that's what they did.
Well, look, speaking of turkeys, let's go over.
Well, Keith still got some more.
Oh, we still.
Yeah.
Oh, I jumped ahead of you. My bad.
Go ahead, Keith. You
Okay.
still got the rest of the
Yeah,
ads.
and
Who,
it's got
go
good-
ahead. Go ahead.
We got Baker Glass Shop. Stop by and see Corey Madden for all your glass needs. Auto, big truck, heavy machinery. Contact Corey at 731-658-4510. He's located at 321 East Market Street, Bolivar, Tennessee. Second Amendment Outdoors, your one-stop shopping for all your outdoor needs. Guns, ammos, fishing tackle, clothes, boots, and much, much more. Mark Austin and his great staff will take good care of you. Contact Mark at 662-594-8687. Located at 2804-A Highway 72 West, Corinth, Mississippi. Big Hill Pond Boat Sales and Repair. Go see Kenny Fortune for all your boating needs, sales, or repair. He also has firearms and fishing tackle. Contact Kenny at 731-645-4384. Address is 9282 Highway 57, Raymer, Tennessee.
Hey, who just for do? Next time, show a little enthusiasm when you go over those things.
Put me in, coach.
Hey, one thing I will say about Big Hill Pond. Last week during the show, and I didn't see it till afterwards, our buddy Jason Ellison, AJ's dad,
I was fixing to read.
he sent me a message
Yes, I was fixing to
about
read.
Big Hill Pond boat sales because he had asked me their phone number because he had been looking for a part.
For 2 weeks.
That's right. And then he texted me and he said, hey, what is Big Hill Pond's number? I hear y'all talk about it all the time. So he contacted Kenny down there. They had the part he needed and got him back
Got it
going.
back. Actually, that's exactly what I was going to read.
Okay,
I'm
well-
glad you brought that
Okay,
up.
yeah, because when I told him last week, when I saw it after the show, I said, I promise you I'll mention it next week.
Awesome.
Because I hear a lot of people say that about
Yeah,
Kenny.
yeah.
Kenny always fixes me up. He fixes Bubba up.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
Yeah,
good.
well, I talked to Kenny today. I had a power pack go out on my boat.
Really?
Yep. And so he's
I mean,
getting
they're-
that fixed up.
Him and David, they're good folks down there. Highly recommended.
All right, we're gonna wrap this up. We're getting, man, this one's going by fast. All right, I'm not sure. Look, I'm gonna go over the Lynnhurst Family Resort. Are they still offering the 10%?
To my knowledge, they are.
Okay,
Yes.
so from what we understand, if you call Lynnhurst Family Resort and you mention that you've seen them on this show, you'll get a 10% discount.
That's right.
So Lynnhurst is located on the Blood River in the inlet of Kentucky Lake. You can stay in one of their cabins, condos, in the motel, or at one of their campsites. They also have pontoons, jet skis, and golf cart rentals. You can book by calling Dennis Helmuth at 270-436-2345 or 606-341-3399. Then you have Prym1 Camo, the ultimate concealment solutions for the outdoorsman and woman that need to blend into their surroundings. Go to prym1camo.com and check out their line of products. Their 20% off code is HERO1. Then you have myself, which is Wildlife Addiction Food Plot Services. You can reach me at 731-780-HUNT, that's 4868, or 731-780-6426, and offer a full line of food plot services, anywhere from simply prepping a field for you to turnkey jobs. And the weather has been killing me, but give us a call if we can help you in any kind of way, whether it's consulting. I get a lot of phone calls from people out of state that are just needing some help with some soil sample. They'll send me pictures of their soil samples and just getting some ideas on what they can plant, what they need to grow. So,
Have you put any corn in yet?
not yet. No, I'm waiting until next month.
Really?
I'm doing Milo and stuff next month.
Okay. All right. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. All right, Bubba, you want to hit the turkey numbers?
Yeah, let's get over turkey numbers. Our margin keeps getting closer and closer down.
Just like we thought it would.
Just like, it's slowing down. There's still a few turkeys to be had on the
Yep.
landscape, without a doubt, but not a lot of gobbling, but still just some out there. Let's go right off the get-go. Year to date, we've killed 31,156 birds. Last year, we killed 29,993, so we're up 1,163, or up 4%. Our jake harvest is down 1,163, or down 26%. which does not bode well for us
Right.
next year.
And it's kind of like we figured it might go.
Yeah. I mean, you hate to see a high harvest ejects, but that usually is an indicator of the number of 2-year-old birds that's going to be in
That's
the
right.
landscape the following year. So that being down 26%, I just don't think next year is going to be near as
I don't either.
good as this year.
Yeah, I don't either.
Bearded hens was down 75 birds. We've taken 174, or down 30%.
And truthfully, I'm kind of glad to see that. 'Cause
Yeah.
That leaves extra. Whether a hen's got a beard or not, that's just more hens left on the landscape.
Hen's a hen.
That's right, because she's going to be a mama, hopefully. But she can run that predator gauntlet.
Do you want to go ahead and just go over the counties I was reading?
Yeah,
questions?
well, I was going to go. Of course, what Bubba just did was year to date, which is really not comparing apples to apples because of the way the season was this year. But what the number I'm fixing to go to, it's pretty close. But so far, we've had 41 days to hunt this season. So I went back and looked at the first 41 days of last year, and we're actually up 2,514. If you do date to date, it's 1163, but we're up 8%. But a lot of that too, I think, is, of course, once you're tagged out at 2, and I wish I knew the actual count of how many killed 3 last year. They used to put that out, but I haven't seen it lately. But it would be pretty good just to compare it like that. But because when we do the top 10 right here, you can tell it's close because the pluses and minuses are pretty. I'll start at number 10, Bubba. Robertson County has taken 558 this year. Year to date last year, they had 618, so we're down 60. But if you do just 41 days, they're down 20 from last year. Sumner County, 588, they're up 40. And for 41 days last year, they're up 72 for this year. Hickman County, 598, up 144. That was the biggest increase I saw for the, year to date. But first 41 days last year, they had 437. So that's up 161. Giles County, number 7, 613. They're up 112. And then by first 41 days, they're up 148. So that's pretty dang good right there. Wilson County knocking out number 6 at 617. They're a down 80, and the first 41 days they're a down 54 from last year.
Rounding out the top 5, number 5 is Rutherford County coming in at 625. Year to date, they're down 86, and on the first 41 they are down 50. Number 4, Montgomery County coming in at 641. Year to date, down 28. First 41, up 3. Number 3, Dixon coming in at 727. Year to date, down 57. First 41 days, down 22. Number 2, Greene County coming in at 882. Year to date, up 43. First 41 days, up 66. And the number 1 county, just stomping everybody big time, is Maury County coming in and whopping 1,013. But that's actually down 64 from year to date. And if you go back to the first 41 days from last year, they're down 31. So even our number 1 county was a little off. One thing that sort of jumps out at me, Anthony, we talked about this in the pre-show, is it's not consistent. We have just about as many ups as we have downs in counties. Right. It's just a little bit, and it seems like our increase over the previous year keeps getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
But now we're to the point where everything, this time last year everything was closed.
That's right.
So it's either it's going to go up a little more.
Yeah. So we are going to end up, higher than last year. Now, and there again, we'll put this out. This is just the report we put out is what was actually checked in.
Yeah, that's what we base this
right,
on.
because there is another report that comes out that TWRA does by phone surveys, and because when they put that out last year, it said over 52,000. So and I called Bubba and I talked about it. There's a 20,000 bird discrepancy because they do a phone survey versus what was checked in. So the first thing I said was, well, if either the people are lying on the phone or somebody needs to get a lot of tickets, because 20,000 birds discrepancy, in my opinion, it's not acceptable. But that's just me. So,
yeah, no doubt.
But all right, Bubba, you got a question over there we need to knock out?
I got a question, and it's sort of going back. It's Unnamed deer processor supposedly turned in a deer for CWD test in December. Still haven't heard the results. Who do I contact? Steve Turpin. Steve, I'll get with you. We need to put him in contact with Jeremy and see.
First thing, he's going to need that confirmation number.
Confirmation number of the deer in question. And then we can see.
You can see, as long as they got the confirmation numbers, then, they can go back and tell, number one, if TWRA ever received that deer.
If ever received that and move forward with it.
Because it could be it was taken to a processor or even a taxidermist, and I don't know which one. And a lot of stuff can happen because there's a lot of paperwork. I mean, they have to cut the samples out, and everything is numbered and labeled, and it could possibly get lost like that. In some, whether it be transportation at the location.
It could have never been turned in.
That's right. But if it was ever turned in at the TWRA test sites, then they will have a record that it was turned in. Now, after that, then it could go off to at least, I think they used 2 places.
Well, Steve, I'm just going to send you the contact you need to call. And
that would be the best, because that's exactly what I do.
I'll send it to you right now.
Because Jeremy Dennison, he's a biologist he's CWD coordinator for Region 1, and he's been on our ship. Matter of fact, he's probably the number 1 TWRA guys as far as number of times he's been on the show, and Jeremy's real good. I call him a bunch, because people reach out to me with the same thing that Steve did, Bubba, just now. But luckily, it seems like those things are getting less and less every year.
Yeah. There's just so many moving parts and so many different people, and
that's right.
It's hard to be everything work 100%.
Right.
But we get as good as we can get.
It is a lot better. I'm going to tell you, it really is.
Given the number of steps it has to go through, it is.
Yep. Hey, I got a question here. Has anyone ever caught a fish at Big Hill Pond or Travis McNatt Lake? Had good luck in the old pond, but not in the big lake? Well, I can't speak for anybody else, but I know probably 15 years ago, I could go down there and I could single pole in some deep water and I could catch some slabs. But in the last few years, I will agree that something's happened to the fish down there. But that is one of the lakes that is now on one of the Bill Dance signature lakes. I forgot how many millions of dollars Bubba was put on that. Was it 70 or something? But because they was going to change a lot of the lakes in Tennessee to Bill Dance lakes. I wish they'd somehow put a different boat ramp, because putting in that place, the boat ramp is like walking up the Alps, to go back to your truck. And then when you fished all day and you got to pull up there and then walk up there, get it, and back down. It's pretty tough, but it is fish in it. But I know people that's fished it. You don't catch the big ones like you used to. It's almost like it's overpopulated. And plus, I guarantee you it's full of otters, too, being in Tuscumbia Bottom like that. So, wouldn't doubt it's a few gators down there, because I know it's a few gators in Tuscumbia Bottom. That's for sure. And I figure we'll probably start getting some gator reports here now in the next couple months.
Wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
Right here in the southwest part of the state.
That's right. Because we already know they're in Fayette and Shelby County. And I know for a fact there was one in McNairy County last year. So, and then several down the Tennessee River from Pickwick.
Yeah,
You ever seen a gator on Hatchie?
No, sir.
Had never caught one?
No, sir.
You looking forward to it?
No, sir.
I didn't figure you was. That's for sure. Well, Penny, you looking forward to this tournament?
Yes.
You think you're going to be able to tolerate Hooter when he gets ill and you go dip that fish and you hit the fish and it comes off the hook?
Yeah. He's got to tolerate me, too. It is going to be late at night. So
I think he'll be understanding.
What are y'all predicting?
I mean, I'm driving the boat.
What are you predicting on y'all's weight?
On our weight?
Yeah.
Well, he said
I
75
go with
will win it.
75 pounds.
He said 75.
You think that's what it's going to take to win it?
Was that what y'all
Well,
gonna
you'll
have?
be in it. Now, I don't know if you'll win it, but if you got 75,
Yeah.
I think
Well, that's it.
Well, I'd like to say I know my buddy C-Jack. He's going to be in it with Joey Denman. And I know Joey he's fished
Hey,
that river.
speaking of big fish, Jerry Armstrong just caught a big fish who was showing us a picture. What did you say?
did.
So what did it weigh?
61.
61.
Congratulations, Jerry. I just saw him day before yesterday. He was talking about
And I tell you what, 61, I mean, that's a big fish even for the Tennessee River.
You
but
darn right.
That's a nice one
That's
for
a
the
nice
Hatchie River.
fish. That's a darn nice fish.
It sure is. Because on the Tennessee River, Seem like you see more big blues up there than you do the big flatheads.
Yeah.
I mean, you see both of
Yeah,
them, but
you're right. You see
know,
like the flatheads are getting bigger in the Hatchie, and then you get the blues.
you just
on
don't
the
see
bigger water.
the big blues in the Hatchie
No,
like you
you
do
don't.
up there.
No, it
What's
seem
the
like-
biggest blue you ever seen in the Hatchie, Hoot?
Maybe 20 pounds.
Maybe, yeah.
And that's big.
Yeah.
Caught it on a rod and reel. That's what I caught.
Yeah.
Seem like all of them are that 5 pounds or under.
Yeah.
Just a huge percentage of them.
I know we caught a couple channels between 8 and 10 pounds one night. That's big for a channel cat. That's big. That is huge. Which I love eating them channel cats.
That's what I got in my pond.
Is it channel?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So who you just gonna pretty much? How much time you think you'll ride and reel fish, or if any?
It just depends. I mean, I'm gonna put out as many lines as I can. So, and you're looking at, up and down the river and whatever obstacles are there.
How many limb lines you gonna think you're gonna put out?
Probably 10.
How many hooks you put on your limb lines?
One.
Just one?
Mhm.
You don't, because we used to put maybe 5 on some of ours.
Yeah.
Kind of throw lines we
Yeah,
call
that's
them.
what we did. Anywhere
Yeah.
from 5 to 10.
Yeah.
But
So when you basically put one, you're singling out a slick hole, basically.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just from year after year after year.
Yeah, because you saying that it's those same holes, kind of like when people that do all the catfish grabbing, Bubba, you've done it too. Year after year they catch some big catfish in those same big holes.
Same hole.
And some of them even caught the same
Same hole.
catfish in the same hole because it was tagged.
And if the hole is still there,
I still,
Yeah.
I still got it in my mind that every year we get flood water during duck season.
Oh, yeah.
And then February, more flood water up into. I don't know. See, I leave then, so I don't know
Yeah.
what y'all
No,
do then.
we had
We got
several.
plenty.
Yeah.
And I just have to think that the bigger fish are coming up from the Mississippi or coming from deeper water, coming up into this far of the Hatchie. But if you look, I know there's no doubt in my mind because I've done it on a rod and reel. I've caught about a 2-pound flathead on a rod and reel, and then caught a 20-pound flathead on that flathead.
Yes.
They are they're the king of predators. That I want to say that for this area.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they are.
they're
I
the
mean-
great white of the Hatchie,
yeah,
that's
right.
for sure.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And
Once they get a certain size.
And I
Yes.
told Penny, when we feel comfortable that we've got 3 to be in it, we're gonna run them, and she's gonna try her luck at getting one in the boat.
Absolutely.
That's where, if you're by chance at the courthouse late at night, just admiring whatever, you might hear some yelling all the way down at my place.
Yeah, I can imagine that too. Yeah, I can imagine. Well, I hope it's a good turnout, and I hope the weather's good, and it should be. You say you got you a pond for you catch some jugheads.
Yep.
You
And
just it's hard to beat a jughead.
I know,
Yeah.
and like I said, I'm gonna try my best to catch them. I love using eating size brim out of the Hatchie live for flatheads.
Yep.
I mean, it's just they've got more stamina for some reason than a pond perch.
Yeah, just something about that current just
Yeah.
makes them tougher.
And plus, flatheads they tend to bite the live bait better than they
Yeah.
do the dead bait.
Well, I know you.
Now, you can catch them on them, but
If you're on the river every day, every now and then, you could take a live bluegill or bigger size panfish and slit it just to where it bleed. But that first 15 minutes, I actually believe flatheads would come up to that blood.
Yeah.
They, but a jughead overnight, I'm telling you, it's.
he'll
That's
either
that's-
have a fish or he won't be there
And
the next day.
that's hard to beat as a jughead.
Yeah.
I don't even know the appropriate name for them.
They're actually called brown bullheads. You got brown bullheads.
Yeah, well, they're separate
and-
for
and-
species. We're talking about
and you
that.
got black bullheads because I know one day, I'll never forget it, I was fishing at Whiteville Lake and I caught a black bullhead. And I thought it was real big, and the guy I was fishing with, he's good on the Hatchie River too. And I threw him back in and I said, I think I just threw the state record black bullhead away. Most people never see a black bullhead because all you see is the brown ones. And I bet I looked it up after that. I was close. It would have rivaled it being a state record.
Really?
But I threw him back in. I sure did. But yeah, you just can't beat them. And those things are tough too.
Oh, yeah.
You can't hardly kill one.
They are the toughest fish out there.
Well, before you end, can I say one thing?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They have one of the best
We got
guiding
2
seasons.
minutes.
One of the best guiding seasons I ever had.
Glad you said that, because I was wanting to talk about that. What you got, Janet, real quick?
Before you get off, what is when is the Hatchie River tournament? Where and what time is the weigh-in?
Go ahead, Hooter.
2nd of June is a Friday. The tournament starts at 12 noon
On Friday.
on Friday. The weigh-in time is at 7:30 on 3 June. Highway 18 North, the city, I guess it's called City Park.
It is City Park,
All
yeah.
right.
It's what's called the old boat dock.
Used to be
Old
the
boat
old boat dock. And you just need to look it up on Facebook. Hatchie River Big Catfish Tournament. Matt German is the
Yeah, he's one. You're right.
Catfish
He's the one that
master.
started it.
So, if you got any questions, I'm sure his number is on the Facebook.
Yeah,
So
it
give
is.
him a call or text him because he works pretty. He works a lot. And if that didn't answer your question,
Yeah.
I mean
I
that.
think it probably did.
It's anywhere on the Hatchie River from when it comes in down below Pocahontas all the way until it runs into the Mississippi River.
Correct.
That was Jason Ellison that was asking.
Yeah. All right, Hoot, real quick, because I meant to ask you about your, everybody knows Hoot. He's always talking about, he leaves pretty much about 15th February every year. He goes to Omer, South Carolina.
Omer, South Carolina, Blackwater Hunting Services.
Yep. Then,
It was unbelievable.
what's your count up to now? Because I remember when you hit 600, because I was with you on some of them.
I started with 621. Right now I'm at 632,
Okay.
and I'm not mad at them no more. I mean, I'm getting ready for that tournament.
Yep.
But I actually got to see my first bearded hen on my farm,
Yeah.
and that meant the world to me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's not
anyway,
the first one you've seen just on your farm.
what I was going to ask if Bubba could walk me up to my truck when we're done, because I bet Sarah Grantham might be lingering out there
She
somewhere.
might be out there.
Pop a cap and you'll tell you.
But no, biggest thing about the catfish tournament in my eyes is just in my mind, be safe. Just be safe and be aware because it's an overnight tournament and follow the regulations.
And you ought to wear your life jacket too. Just seems like, every fatality we've had on the water this year has been they didn't have a life jacket on, and Memorial Day fixing to be coming
Fix to
up.
come up. Let's be safe out there.
Yes.
Yes.
Because sadly we say it every time, and some of the people that even watch this show,
I guarantee they'll
We'll
probably.
they won't be here after the next
If we
Tuesday.
make it through Memorial Day without a fatality, I'll be surprised.
Me too.
And I hope I'm surprised.
Yeah, and just to go ahead and forewarn you, starting July 1st, there is some new boating laws that come into effect, and the penalties are a lot stiffer. And I mean,
Safety is paramount.
that's right, it sure is. As
And I-
Bubba would say, the drug and alcohol-free boat is the best boat to be on.
Without a doubt.
That's right.
Safest boat
And
to be
on a
in.
lighter
We
note,
just made 1,000.
We got 1,000.
We got 1,000.
1,000.
That's what we know of.
That is awesome.
Oh, unbelievable.
The match makes 1,000.
What
Yeah,
dear? The match makes 1,000.
All right.
but at some point in time next year, you might look up Penny's Charter Catfish River Fishing in Hardeman County.
Well, a good start would be winning the tournament right off the
There you
get-go.
have
That's how you get that started.
With first mate Hoot. All right.
The sun's calling.
We're a little bit over, but I'm going to tell you, man, $1,000 for that team, I'm
Well
very-
deserved.
And, they are
And
all-
that's just what we
they're
know
all
of.
coming in Jackson and Jack.
Yep, Branson,
Yeah.
Jackson and Jack
They're all
and
out.
Brantley. Yep.
That's
Thank you,
awesome.
thank you.
That's
Yep.
great. And that's
Good
just
deal.
what we know of. We don't know what other viewers may have sent money.
Yeah, that's right.
But,
That's but that's just what we know.
yeah, awesome.
Randy Walls, you the man, brother.
man.
Always
I'm-
on.
Without a doubt. Randy's
I've
the
never
one that
met
got
Randy.
this
I
going.
know.
Oh, he's good. I've known him since I was a kid. We played ball together on the same team. So
Maybe one day I get to meet him.
yeah,
Good guy.
yeah. He used to be a hero in a lot of categories. Waldo, you know what I'm talking about, brother. All right, hey, we appreciate all our viewers and sponsors, and appreciate everybody that donated money for the kids over in Brighton,
Keep
Tennessee.
donating. It's all
Yeah,
over.
they just keep.
Yeah, you can keep donating.
The Venmo address is on there. Just be sure.
Yeah, Brantley-Tillman at Venmo. So, all right, Keith, anything else, brother?
No, sir. Hey, big weekend coming up for the water. Please be safe, guys. Please be safe.
Hooter, anything?
We in it to win it.
All right. Penny, what about you?
Oh, about the same.
Skeeter spray now.
Okay, Bubba.
Let's be safe this weekend. That's paramount.
All right.
You know, that's.
Hey, we'll see y'all next Tuesday right here for another Tennessee Outside Show. Thank y'all.